Shrestha Puranas. Puranas are narratives which are given by the old sages, particularly by the end of Dwapara Yuga. And it is documented by sage Vedavyasa again, just as we see Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata particularly, of which Bhagavad Gita is a part, and then Brahma Sutra. So Vedavyasa was a great sage who had lot of thinking for people of Kali Yuga. He had lot of concerns for people of Kali Yuga, and it was predicted that people in Kali Yuga will have a less intelligence as compared to their forefathers and previous people of other yugas, previous yugas. And they would, because of their less intelligence, they wouldn't understand the reality of life. And as a result, there would be a lot of misery. Always misery is because of ignorance. We don't know what is the real cause of suffering. So, to make us understand, Krishnavatara actually happened. And Krishna, I mean, there were other reasons for Krishnavatara, but this was also another major reason. And Vedavyasa was such a clever person that he has documented all that so that people who would be born later for many millions of years or lakhs of years would benefit by reading those, and at least some would try to understand what is the purpose of life. With those kind of thoughts, no, we will understand the reason beyond our reason for our sufferings or difficulties that we face, and we will try to get solutions. And we will understand that life is not just eating, enjoying, and all these worldly affairs, but it is to go beyond. Human life is not meant just to enjoy whatever is given. It is definitely for enjoyment, but that is not all. We need to go beyond that, because that is how a human being is differentiated by other animals. If you see other animals, what do? They are born, they eat, they live, and they procreate. They have physical attractions, all those, and then they die again to be reborn as another animal. But a human is not so. Human being has been gifted with what is called as buddhi. Though God is there, we have seen in the creation as a jiva in the animals as well as plants and human beings. Anything that lives, he says he is there as a jiva. But buddhi is there only in human beings, because as we always have been discussing, the purpose of human life is to evolve beyond the physical. We have already reached the ultimate stage of physical evolution. We have got beautiful body, two hands, two legs. We eat, we behave in a very civilized way compared to animals. That is why once the buddhi has come, man has started discovering, inventing, making his life comfortable. So that way he has evolved himself. But what is required is to go beyond that. So Krishna has created the human beings in such a way that he has made us understand that there is something called Prakriti, nature, Swabhava, Karma, all these he has created. And with that, he has brought out, he has come as avatars, he has shown what it is. Only thing is, we should be all eyes and ears to observe and to learn and to evolve. The beauty of evolution, beauty of thinking like this, evolution means thinking. Mind will become more matured to handle the things. So the beauty of this evolution is we start getting lot of clarity. And Bhagavad Purana is brought out, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Purana. These are the two main scriptures that would help us to evolve or get over or become emotionally more matured. So the beauty of Bhagavad Gita is it makes us think and contemplate. And to some extent, it requires, deeper understanding, more intelligence, and it's a different way of thinking. Bhagavad Purana, it makes you uh, feel. It brings the concept of bhakti that doesn't require a higher intelligence at all. It just requires love, mainly love towards God. Or if you, I mean, unless you have some belief in God, you will not be attracted to Bhagavad Purana. Once you get inclined to understand Bhagavad Purana and go deeper into it, you will experience a different state wherein you will feel it is God and God alone that matters to me, and how beautiful is His creation, and whatever is happening is His prasad. And I mean, it's His doing, it's His wish and will. I'm okay for that. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು we want to listen more and more about His glories. So Bhagavad Purana describes the glories. Bhagavad Gita talks about His preachings. Once you listen to Bhagavad Gita, you will feel, who is this person? Always they say, no, when we read a book, we want to know more about the author. How beautifully he has written this book. Who should be Bhairappa or Ella Nodri Dotto, big authors, no? We want to know more about them. How beautifully, how nicely he has written. What is his background? Even in a cinema, also, when we watch, who's the director? If we go a little deeper, most of the people, we just enjoy the movie and come back. But if you really start thinking about it later, how beautiful is this movie? Who must be the director? What may be his thoughts? Like that, if you start thinking, and then you understand the author of this Bhagavad Gita, you will come to know he is the author of the, is the creator of the entire universe. Not just alone Bhagavad Gita. It's not only Krishna, but he represents the Parabrahma. And therefore, Bhagavad Purana is intended, it is written with an intention to, or an objective, to make the people understand about glories of God. Glories, ಅವನ ಲೀಲೆಗಳು, ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅವನು, ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ we understand his purpose behind every avatars, or each of his action in his avatar. Why he did what he did. Then, oh my God, then it is true. What he is saying is true. Whatever he preaches in Bhagavad Gita, he has practiced it, he has shown it, people have validated it, great sages have endorsed it. So then it makes us more, makes it so impressive. As I said, it doesn't require much intelligence, it requires a pure heart. In the first initial shlokas itself, Krishna says, the Bhagavad Purana says, that is the Sutta Puranikas, they have described, how it is written. So, Nirmatsaranam. Nirmatsaranam means no jealousy, no comparison, no feeling of insecurity, no feeling of why me, everything is okay, everything is His. So, that much of faith if we have in God, and if we surrender, every activity, every event that happens or that has happened in the past with us, or whatever is going to happen in future, we will never question. We will trust Him and we will act. We will trust Him and we will act. We will not keep quiet. We will not say it's God, so let me relax. No, that is not His intention. We need to act, we need to surrender. But that surrender, which we learned in Bhagavad Gita now, karma falatyaga, work with detachment, whatever, all that becomes a cakewalk if you start developing bhakti. And Bhagavad Purana's main purpose is to make our bhakti more and more powerful. Bhakti gives you power. Bhakti gives you security. Bhakti overcomes loneliness. It beats loneliness because the connection is so strong with the creator of the universe. It is like, you are working in an organization, and if you become close to the management, many times, hey, she's very close to management, that's why she gets all those benefits. Yes, we will get, actually, because even in organization, if you understand the management's vision and mission, and you work accordingly, naturally you become closer to them. No, you are an employee, you cannot go against them because that is the rule. They have their laws. So as long as you're working in an organization, you must follow, you must sync, or you must tune your actions with their vision, their mission. Otherwise, you should not work there. But here you have to tune because it is His creation. And why he's not a person who is like authoritative, or what I should say. He is not a person who is like a bad ruler. No, his intentions are very good. It is His sport. He creates and he has given guidelines. This is how you work. And He is the first one to help us. That is the beauty. He says, you do it. And he is waiting, it seems. He has created all this, and he's trying to see how many people are willing to surrender their ego and come to me. I will hold them. I will hold yoga kshemam vahamyam. That shloka is there, no? Bhagavad Gita. So he is eager. Unlike the worldly managerial systems, no, this is a different management altogether. He is always willing to hold us, provided we put our one step forward and we surrender. And once he holds us, he gives what is called as jnana, knowledge. That is the biggest gift he will give you. That knowledge, and that is, in other words, it is a wisdom, or it is a maturity with which you will just go above everything. And then whatever things were bothering us, that is the whole thing. Forever, eternally, every human being has some or the other problem. We cannot say I'm without problem if we are good thinkers, right? So whatever problems are there around us, we grow beyond that. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬಿಡು, ಇದ್ರ ಹಣೆ ಬರನೇ ಇಷ್ಟು, it's not going to bother me anymore because I have started going closer to him. This is how the flow of energy starts coming. And once you experience, I'm sure all of you would have experienced, that's the whole reason why all of us assemble here regularly. And because there is a, it is very tasty, isn't it? We have tasted this bhakti, and then once you taste it and once you experience that flavor, then there is no way, I mean, there is no way we can go back. We are attracted to that. That is the power of bhakti. And not only that, I must say, if we put one step, he puts 10 steps towards us, so that bondage develops, and that should continue. And our surrender should be constantly practiced. There's one Premanand Maharaj I was discussing with Indira yesterday. Very beautifully. If you get a chance, you listen to him. During this Kumbh Mela time, all those his I mean, I used to see on the YouTube. These are all the sadhus who have been most respected in those akhadas. So he speaks in Hindi very, very well. He says, see, you have got so much of baggage, so much of samskars accumulated in so many births, so many births. Even after you become a human being, you have crossed, it seems, 84 lakh species you have gone through and got the human birth. And after getting human birth, probably we have come through several births. Again, taking birth. Again, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We have been doing that. And we have accumulated so much of karma. In one birth, just by lighting a diya or putting an agarbatti, you think you will clear off all your mistakes, papa, everything. No, you should continuously do sadhana, practice. What is that practice? Just surrender and sing bhajans. Chant his name, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. This is a Maha Mantra or whatever. So once we do that, throughout the day we cannot do that. No, I mean, we may not have time because we're all busy. So reduce our work as much as possible and devote the time to his service and surrender whatever you do. From morning till evening, whatever we do, we need to surrender. With that, we continue with Skanda 2, chapter 5. We have seen creation, how he created. Indira was telling our story. We have some nice stories also. So quickly, I will run through the how. I mean, we have. I will not go for revision. We have seen that how this world was created. That is what Purana is telling, because it has to tell, no, apart from describing how Krishna stole the butter, how he played with Gopika Striya and how he played with Radha. Apart from that, he has beyond that. I mean, his role is like a Parabrahma. How this world started, how did we come into this existence? What are these hands, legs, eyes, ears? What are they doing? We have taken them for granted. It is beyond that. It is beyond that, and there is God's. I should say, with great planning. He has got a great plan in designing this human body. Human body is a miracle, I tell you. I mean, it's a, what I should say, not a miracle. It is a very, very interesting phenomenon, creation of a human body and this world. So briefly, in continuation with last session's discussion, the whole Parabrahma was a standstill. Pralaya, it starts from Pralaya. Pralaya means nothing is there. Nothing means only he. He is not in the form. It's just as a energy, latent, sleeping energy. Okay, and then as it starts, he means that thing, you can call it as that. It wants to create something that creates a small disturbance, it seems. It's a combination of sattva, rajas, tamas. We have seen sattva in a great proportion and rajas, tamas in a smaller, but it's in a balanced state. So when there is a disturbance, then there is mahattattva. Mahattattva is a energy. So from mahattattva comes, through his yoga maya, he starts creating everything. What has he created? He has created pancha mahabhuta to start with, the space, the fire. These are all basic elements. The water, the space, the fire, the water, the air, and the land. So with all this, everything will start. Then he has created Brahma. He comes as a Virat Purusha. Today we'll see that. And then he creates Brahma. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. From there, all sages. And then so many Manus and plant life, animal life, and the human body with the panchendriya, all the sense organs, and the organs of actions like hands, legs, and all. Basically, you can say he created the human body, human mind, human buddhi, and he starts creating ahankara. Ahankara means not this ego. He starts creating the samskaras, swabhavas. So the game starts. That's how the game starts of the human. Very beautifully he has made. So Mahatattva means basically it is a, quickly we will run through the origin. So Ahankara is the energy. Ahankara in the true sense. It is the doership. So when the creation started, it was that Ahankara, which was a combination of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. If you remember, Sattva is a very subtle, Sukshma Iddantadu Sattva. Sukshma. Evolutionarily, Sukshma, subtle. A Sattvic person is very sensitive. He has become very subtle because he has grown. So like that, in this creation also, this Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, what we say, no, it describes three types of personalities of human beings. Grossly, human beings who are very matured, who are broad-minded, less selfish, they are called Sattvic Purush. Rajasic is active, ambitious, but with that, it's a mixture. They are also doing good work, but they're also greedy, they're ambitious, and always in action. Tamasika is less active, more inertia, resistant to change, kind of lazy, but they also have negative values. So these are the personalities. Similar things exist in the Prakriti also. Please concentrate. So in everything, so this is the beauty of creation. That is why they say microcosm, macrocosm. Swami Vivekananda has described and today it has come. Microcosm is what is happening in the body. Exactly similar processes are happening in the external universe or the world, Prakriti. So in Prakriti also, when it started, no, all these personalities are nothing but manifestation of that Brihat, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic gunas. So these three gunas were there as a part of that Mahat Ahankar. Ahankara is the beginning. So from that, what entities were derived out of that? From Sattvic Ahankara came Jnana Shakti, mind and the deities which rule over, like Indra, Varuna, Agni. We discussed, no, Aditya. I will share that video, by the way. Last week's I have not shared. So all this Jnana Shakti, because it is little subtle, Sukshma. Manassu ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾದದ್ದು. Then from Rajasika portion of, so this is also called as Vaikarika, the Sattvic portion, if you can, you remember, otherwise it's okay. From the Rajasika portion of that Ahankara, big energy, think about that. From there comes a Kriya Shakti, which includes Buddhi and Prana. Buddhi is something which will decide. Okay, it's related to mind only, little above mind. We have discussed that. And Prana is the energy. Prana is very important in human body. So from there comes the Buddhi and Prana for the human body. And then Jnanendriya, Karmendriyas are derived out of that Rajasika part of Ahankara. And then Tamasika is that gives Dravya Shakti. Dravya Shakti is the one which creates Pancha Mahabhuta. So you see from Tamasika to Rajasik of the Prakriti, I hope, are you all here with me? Are you all able to understand? These are the three entities. I'm sure all of you are science people only. And Uma is also teacher. She's also able to understand. Any doubts in this so far? Is that okay? Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
okay, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. It's okay, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
ಸೊ ಅಹಂಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು: ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ, ರಾಜಸಿಕ, ತಾಮಸಿಕ ಗುಣಗಳು. ಅಹಂಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿನ್ನು ಬಿಡ್ರಿ, ಆ ಗುಣಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಮನುಷ್ಯನೊಳಗೆ ಅವು ಗುಣ ಅದು. From the Prakriti, the gunas are also there in, are also the attributes of Prakriti. Prakriti runs basically on these three gunas. So the less evolved is tamasic guna, little more is rajasika guna. Guna means nature, and more subtle, sukshmavadantaddu sattvic. So similarly, they get carried down, and from there are born. What is born? Mind and the deities, devategalu. They are all created out of sattvika jnana shakti, that is sattvika of ahankara. Kriya shakti is from rajasika of ahankara. That creates the buddhi and prana in human being. And tamasika creates dravya shakti, that creates the pancha mahabhuta, or this air, space, water, whatever. So with all this, no, he creates, it seems. I'm just describing what is given exactly, and my reference is Swami Tapasyananda's commentary, translation, Swami Tapasyananda's. So he creates a cosmic shell. It's called Brahmanda. Okay, it's just inert, and then using Kala, Karma, Swabhava. Okay, I will just literally I'm telling. So Kala, time. These are concepts you have to imagine. Kala is time, and Karma is also karma is action, and swabhava. So these are the three things which are inherent with us also. Every human being has a kala, an end. He also has karma, his actions, and he also has his swabhava. But these have the roots in that Brahman when he created. So cosmic shell he made with all this as a concept. They are all there as a potential. You should imagine only, because we can nobody can demonstrate. So from there, with the help of Kala, Karma, Swabhava, he creates Pindanda and Brahmanda. Pindanda is Jiva. All these I said, no, Jiva: plants, animals, human beings. Brahmanda is everything other than that. So he breaks that cosmic shell and assumes, as per Bhagavad, Virat Rupa. If we could think of him as per Bhagavad as something like human body, but in huge form, unimaginable dimensions, unimaginable, with multiple limbs, multiple heads, multiple this one. So, for an average person, it's easy to understand the God concept of God when it is described in this form. Like he had so many thousands of hands, thousands of head. For otherwise, if you, how can it be? If you think from a, if you feel it could be unscientific or something like that, then you can assume that it was of infinite potential. Infinite potential. We are finite, we are limited, but we do have energy. If you multiply that exponentially, then you can think Virat Roop as the one with infinite potential when compared to human. So that was his first form. And Brahma, I'm not going to too many details. So Brahma is telling this to Narada, uh, as told by Shuka to Parikshit. Shuka is telling to Parikshit that Narada, if you remember, we started this description as a conversation between Brahma and Narada. So the first time Bhagavata was told by Brahma to Narad Muni. So Brahma says, this is how it happened, Narada. This is how we assume Virat Purusha. And in that Virat Purusha, he gives examples. What are his different parts? No, he says the trees, the plants, the vegetations are like his hair on his head and on the body. Vegetations are described. Like that, the entire chapter describes his various attributes. What are his hands, what are his nostrils, what are his eyes. So you can read more about that. And then he says that this is how he assumes Virata Purusha, and there is location of different lokas on his body. He says, I am also part of that Virat Roop. I was a speck. I was created from that. And I used all this, and I was given the responsibility of creating this universe with the available elements which that Virata Purusha had on him. And using that, I created everything. I created you. I created, he says, he created sages, he created vegetation, all that, further he has developed. So he used those, and then he has developed everything. So this is what has been described. And then he says about, if you remember, the organization of lokas. If you believe that, if you remember, we had told that there are 7 lokas which are above this bhuloka, and 7 lokas which are below, that is patala loka, and higher ones are higher lokas. That means uh, which talk about evolution, like Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Swaha, Maharloka, Jnanaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. Like that, above Bhuloka, which forms is growing, above that there are 7 lokas. Below that there are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. 7 lokas. So, if you think in a rational way, no, these are physically, even if you assume. So just imagine, if you go as it is by Bhagavad Purana, where I mean, the place where we are staying now is a part of his Virata Rup, and we are staying in Bhuloka, which forms his hip or groin region. And physically, below that, below means not in a, if we consider in a longitudinal way, it's not above, it's not like that. It becomes more and more subtle. Location wise, it may be somewhere nearby. As you go more deeper and subtler, okay, subtler means sukshma, ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಆದಂಗೆ now we approach that loka. So if you more you evolve, he very very well he says, those who practice spiritual this thing and give up detachment, and now let's forget about this creation, now let's come to reality. Now if you become matured, if you understand that, what we must understand, we are part of his creation, and that Bhagavan Parabrahma is within my body, and I am, this body is doing his activities. All this activity is performed by him. I am just an instrument, and he is giving me the energy. When we are in ignorance, no, we think we are the doers. I did this, I did that, therefore they should recognize me, therefore they should not hurt me. Even a normal thinking of a human being. This is called avidya. So those who are in this avidya, no, ignorance, or ahankara in this context is always talking about I did this, because we identify ourselves with this body. Haudala, this is me, no? What is so great? Try to understand what I'm saying. So as long as we are in this buddhi, no, deha buddhi, manas, body and mind, and identifying ourselves with this, then that is said to be ignorance or ahankara. The minute we say this is transitory, and actually I am the Jivatma, which is a part of Paramatma, I am supposed to reach him by giving up this ahankara, by serving people, by becoming more humble, and giving entire credit to him. It is him. ಈ ತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, we reach the higher state, and with his grace we achieve moksha, and we go to that loka which is highest, that is satya loka. He says janaloka, tapoloka, satya loka. That is bliss. That is the eternal bliss. That means it is one state of mukti. Once you go to that. But if people do good work with the expectation, or you do rituals, those days they used to do Vedic rituals. ಹೋಮ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಹೋಮ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೋಮ ಮಾಡೋದು, for children, for education, for qualification. That is also okay. You are calling something higher. You call them and you take this thing, but it is with a return. So you will get that also. Some people do yajnas to get Swargaloka only. I should not go to Naraka. Anta heli, they will do yajnas also, and they will do good work also. They will help people, they will donate, they will do so many things because they want to be happy. They know that doing good gives good. So that is good, but it will not take you to moksha. Am I clear, all of you? Doing work with no expectation, literally, it's God's work. Andre, you will go towards moksha. You may go. But doing the actions with the help, with the purpose of going to better lokas. After I die, this is there. After I die, I should go to Swargaloka. I should not go to Narakapayyo. I should come back. This could be beyond your life, beyond after your death, when you go up, or in the next birth, whatever. I am doing good so that I should be comfortable. Andre, you will enjoy your benefits. Again, come back with birth and death. Am I clear, all of you? Is it going to be? Is it going high? I don't think so. Indira, is it clear? Padmini?
Ma-
Yeah, Suvarchala.
Ma'am, I have one doubt. Here, I mean, you are saying that some people will do homas for getting Svargaloka, no?
Yeah.
There, that person is not surrendering, first thing. Second is expectation, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
Then how?
Yeah, that's why he will go to Swargaloka, but he has done good deeds, no? He has called the god, he has prayed, he has done japa, he wants to be there. That is okay. But the thing is, he will not get moksha. He will be there until he enjoys the fruits of his good work. He has done good work, no? When he was here, he has helped people, he has built hospitals, he has built orphanages, everything. But he has in his mind, he doesn't have the intention of surrendering to god, or so he has done good work. You understand? See, goodness always doesn't mean that it is first thing we should do is good karma. First thing is we should do good karma. That is the
Huh.
basic qualification in moksha also. Without that, nobody can even think of moksha actually. But as you progress, no, you may develop a liking, and you may start feeling, because you may start feeling an attachment and surrendering and recognition that this is I am not the doer. It is God who is getting it done. That's a higher thinking. But until then, you do dana and you get publicity, you get your photos printed in the paper, all that. You have done dana, no, that's a good work. But getting recognition, getting the this thing for whatever and tam tam, everything that I donated this much, I did that. For with that, no, you will get this kind of results. After death, you will go, you will get good. You may reach Swargaloka, or you may be in a good realms or part of the universe, and then you will come back. Again, you have to take birth, and then we don't know what it is. But if you have thought in spiritual, that is not a real spiritual principally. It's not a spiritual practice. It is good practice, but it's not going beyond that. It's one way, one level. He is definitely better than others who are totally selfish. This person is better because he has thought of helping people, but he will not do without any this thing. He has some expectations, but doesn't mind. He will go out of the way. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. But he will get good things, but he has not grown beyond that. These are the stages. No? Clear?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So this is what he says. So now after this, so Virat Purusha, no? Then from here, Brahma says his vibhuti, his divine power and attributes, everything starts manifesting and incarnations are seen. And the Heli today, what we'll do is already time. So he in this chapter now, again he has spoken about all the avatars, some of them, not all 24, which we have discussed earlier. So he says in Satyuga, it was Matsyavatara, isn't it? Matsyavatara. He says he comes as Matsyavatara in Satyuga and relieves or liberates Hiranyaksha. If you remember, Matsyavatara came in Satyavrata Manu was there on earth, and Vishnu takes the avatar of Matsya, that is a fish, because he wants to save. Hiranyaksha is a Rakshas, he is a demon. He takes Prithvi to a very, this Bhuarloka, he takes it very to the lowest stratum, Patal. He takes it down because he doesn't, I mean, he is, his past birth, he was one of those Jaya Vijaya, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, who has been cursed. So he takes birth as Hiranyaksha, and all these Rakshasas, demons, when they're born as demons, they are anti-Vishnu. So Prithvi was doing very well with lot of vegetations. Beautiful it was, under the blessings or, of grace of God, Vishnu. So Hiranyaksha wants to destroy that. He takes it down, he pushes it down, and everything. And it seems he takes away the Vedas, everything from Brahma. And Vishnu takes the avatar of fish. He comes there, and Satyavrata Manu is performing Arghya to Lord Surya. At that time, he gets a fish in his hand and he brings that fish to his home, puts it in a small vessel, and he sees that the fish starts growing. It starts growing. Then he puts it in another bigger vessel. It still grows. Then he puts it in a pond, and it assumes it takes the entire size of that pond. Then he becomes to know that this is not an ordinary fish. Then he talks to the fish, and the fish says, "I am Vishnu Avatar. Come on, get ready, pack the everything. I will take this entire Prithvi to. I will save you. I will take it back to its space." And if you remember, I had mentioned in our previous session also, even the NASA scientists have told, it seems, several millions of years back, Earth had lost its axis and it regained. So, Puranics always say, see, even it has been proved, it has been observed millions of years ago. So, this is may probably corresponding to Satyuga. So, the fish, the earth, a fish assumes the form of the boat, and it carries the earth on its shoulders. It gets tied. It ties. Manu ties, it seems, to the fish's. Fish has a horn, and this earth is tied to the fish's horns, and then the fish floats up on the way. This Matsyavatara, Vishnu in the form of Matsyavatara, he slays Hiranyaksha, picks up the Vedas, and goes back to its restores the earth to its original place. That is about Matsyavatara, because Hiranyaksha had brought it down. So every avatar is to restore the Prithvi, and basically Prithvi and humans. Very beautiful. No, we are part of that. That we have to understand. Whenever he has come, he has a lot of liking, or that is his purpose. To create this way, create avidya, create all this, and then lift them up. So this is Matsyavatara. Then he says, like for Prajapati Ruchi and wife Akuti, avatar, there was an avatar called Suyadnya avatar. Okay, Suyadnya, he marries Dakshina, and he has got two sons called Suyamas, and it seems he also clears the sufferings of all the three lokas. Then Kapila, born to Kardama Prajapati and Devahuti, Kapila Muni. Kapila was born, and if you remember, we have spoken how Kapila actually is born after 9 sisters, and he teaches that yoga beautifully. We are going to discuss again. I don't know whether I've recorded those sessions, but how he teaches Devahuti. Devahuti is his mother, and his mother actually, Kardama Prajapati did not want to marry. Then Brahma says, no, you have to bring progeny, and therefore he marries Devahuti, and he is always absorbed. I'm talking about father of Kapila Muni. So Prajapati is always absorbed in meditation and all that. And then there are 9 daughters. 9 daughters are born. And then he says, now it's time, I have to go. Devahuti says, if you leave and all these daughters are married, who will take care of me? I should have a son. That's how Kapila is born. But Kapila is not a person who is going to go ahead with family life and all. He proposed what is called Sankhya Yoga. Beautiful explanation of Atma Bhava. What is Atma? What are those? 24. It's a Sankhya means analytical yoga. He describes the 24 components of Sankhya Yoga. We'll discuss some other time. Then he says Dattatreya was born to, you remember, Dattatreya was born to Atri. Atri Rishi. So it's a very interesting story. I don't mind repeating. Atri is considered three. Three. Three means Kama, Krodha, Lobha. He was a Rishi who did not have any of these. Therefore, he was called Atri. Atri. And when he replaces this with Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya, Atri, he is devoid of desires, anger, and greediness, but he has a lot of knowledge, he has got bhakti, and he has got vairagya. Vairagya means detachment towards unnecessary things. Unnecessary things we don't want. So like that. And he marries Anasuya, and to them is Dattatreya born. He represents Guru. Dattatreya is considered to be a Sreshta Guru. We need not go into details. Then Brahma says, then I did lot of tapas, and he produced Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumar. They are called Kumaras. So these are all incarnations. He says, when I did tapas, Vishnu took birth as Sanaka, Sanatana, not birth in the real sense. They were just born. They were created. They propounded again knowledge of Atman. Then Nara Narayana, wife of Dharma Prajapati, they were born to Dharma Prajapati and his wife, and they did lot of tapas, so much so they say in Badri actually. And when somebody is doing lot of tapas, this Indra and other Devata, so they become jealous. They sent Urvashi to spoil their tapas, because always there is insecurity, it seems, for Indra. Who will occupy his place? He did not understand that they were reincarnations. So one of them, the Narayana, he produces from his flesh thigh. He produces one Urvashi, it seems. He says, "What is this? You have got Urvashi to spoil my penance. Look, I will only give you an Urvashi." And the Helbitu, he will send it. So that much was there, this one. And then Dhruva was born. We all know about that. Pruthu was born. Rishabha was born. Hayagriva, Kurma, Narasimha. And then he comes to Gajendra. Now we are going to discuss about Gajendra. In their time, I thought, but still, I will talk about Gajendra Moksha. Very interesting story. So with that, we end today's session. So in this, I think it was long back, after Narasimha Avatar, how Prajapati, one of the Manus, saved Vishnu Avatar only. He saves Gajendra. There was a beautiful mountain called Thick Mountain created by Varuna on this earth only. And they say the story belongs to South India only, that is Tamil Nadu, because there is a reference for that. And for this, I have also referred Bananjay Govindacharya's lecture. So, beautiful garden created by Varuna. It had lot of trees, many different types of vegetations, and they say it had lot of thorns also. Mullindu, ಗಿಡಗಳು, lot of trees which had thorns. In that lived a family of elephant who was called Gajendra. This Gajendra, Indra means king, lord. Gaja is elephant. He was not living alone. He had his wife, she elephant, and children, relatives. It was a huge family of elephants. They lived in that beautiful forest, which was full of thorns. And the commentators say that elephant is very powerful in terms of its body, but it seems the leg, the sole is very soft and sensitive. I mean, if a thorn pricks its feet, the sole, it cries with so much of agony, because who has to remove it? Therefore, it senses and avoids going into the thorny area. It senses and avoids going into the thorny. Thorns are there everywhere. So it lived in that forest, but it was clever enough to avoid, just like any elephant. So one day, all of them went in search of water. They were very thirsty. They wanted to take bath and enjoy the luxury of sitting in the water, because it was quite hot. And this Gajendra is going ahead, and all the other elephants, relatives, friends, wife or wives, we don't know. So all of them were following. It was a beautiful thing to see them march towards the water. They traveled for a very long time, and they could not see water anywhere. They always thought, because a beautiful forest, they thought it would be somewhere nearby. But finally, they did not give up. And then they saw there is a nice pond with lot of colorful flowers, lot of lilies, lotuses. And they describe in Sanskrit about some flowers which were golden. I'm describing this chapter. So much of description is not there, but I thought we should go ahead, because this we have not discussed earlier. So the elephant sees that, he becomes so excited. Then all of them get into that water, and they have a nice time. They're all splashing water over each other, just like we go and enjoy in our resort, isn't it? Or water park, whatever you call it. And they started enjoying. So when many things are so far, no, they lived in that forest which was called Trikatu. It had it was a forest on a mountain, and it has three peaks, Shikhara, three peaks, Trikatu. Therefore, it was called Trikatu. The commentators say This is like three peaks in our life of ignorance, avidya or ahankara, and desire, kama, and action, karma. So three peaks are there in our life. We, keep on looking. I mean, this because of ignorance, we keep getting desires. We will never realize that one desire leads to another desire. ಈಗ ಒಂದನ್ನು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದನ್ನು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು what is that, lobha, greed, isn't it? How did it start? Ahankar, we don't know. We get carried away. If we know, no, something, my mind is playing. If you observe your mind, if you are learned, if you become wise, ಅವಾಗ ಇದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರಂತೆ, buy one get one free, or invest so much you will get so much in returns. Simple example is, if you remember, we used to, when we were, now it's not there, they used to give so many items, 500 rupees take everything, 1000 rupees take everything, or chit funds. Ivella traps because of desire. We think they are good. Exactly similar to that. It need not be chit fund, it need not be investment. Any kind of desire, no, we feel we'll go and enjoy anta ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಗೇಜ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. We will never realize that desire should be there. But if it is uncontrolled, no, keep on yielding to one after one. We want this house, we want another house, we want multiple storied building, we want houses in all the other, I mean, different cities, we want another site for next generation. Martha hodaga, what happens is, along with that, along with every possession comes a suffering. There is some baggage. Nothing is free. There is no free lunch in this world. This is God's creation only. So that happens because of avidya. Even after we suffer, sometimes we suffer and then we, oh my God, I shouldn't have yielded. Next time I'll be careful. Andre, you are matured. I'll control. Somebody says, you buy this, you buy that. No, I am comfortable. I don't want to expand. I'm okay with this. I'm contented. I did put efforts. I did make myself comfortable, but I stopped somewhere. That is maturity, or that is vidya to some extent. Then, so kama, desires, and then we keep on karma, avidya, kama, karma. So in life, because of ignorance, we go after desire, and all our karma will be around that desire. All our karma will be around that desire only, nothing beyond that. As long as we are in that, we will, our destiny will be like Gajendra. So let's see what happens to him. So he came from this environment of trikatu, just like our ordinary human being. And then he goes in search of pleasure, that bond, that enjoyment. He wants to be, he wants to take his entire family also. Not only package tour, he has gone with all his family. And because he thinks it's not me, I should also, it's not I alone who has to enjoy. It's my responsibility to get enjoyment for these people also. There he goes, and then he enjoys for a while. And after that, what happens is, he wants to come out, one crocodile holds his leg so much, he is not able to release himself. He will try to kick, nothing else he can do. The crocodile is very powerful. Just like the elephant's power is there on the land, crocodile is very powerful in the lake. There's a muddy water, and the crocodile has made that water so muddy, and it is pulling him. He groans, he cries, so much of pain. He is not able to get rid of that crocodile. Then he talks to his friends and relatives who are all around. They look at him for few hours, for a day, for second day, third day, and then they leave him and go, because they have their work to do. Nobody can, even his own kith and kin, they will not stay with him. It seems he struggles like that for 1,000 years. For 1,000 years. So throughout those 1,000 years, the crocodile is not living, and he is not. So because that time this one was lifespan also was long, and crocodile doesn't have such a long lifespan, but this happened. But the whole thing is, the story has got lot of learning for us. So he cries, he moans, and then he thinks that his friends will help. They did not help. His own kith and kin, children, no, nobody helped. When everybody goes, when nothing is there, he starts chanting. So what does he chant? He chants Narayana Stotra. How does an elephant know Narayana Stotra? Because of his previous birth. So we'll come to that. So he starts chanting, surrendering throughout, and then that helps him probably to sustain that pain, to sustain that pain. So this crocodile in muddy water is described as the problems of the samsara. They hold us. We go in search of joy only to be trapped by such crocodiles in samsara. That means we think there is a goodness and happiness. Actually, it comes with a package, and that is misery. And you may get trapped so much that your own people will not be able to help you. And then you will realize, I alone am responsible to come out of my problems. Nobody will help me. When we tell our problems to others, you should have done that, you should have done this, why did you do this, everybody asks that only. Okay, I have done, how do I get out? Nobody can help. It's you and you alone. Even Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana also, they give generic guidelines how to apply in our situation, that we have to work out. So whatever we tell, no, we may interact, we may find some of the problems are common, and we may say, I handled it like this, but that may not apply to you because your situation is entirely different. You have to work out. And how to work out? When all the doors are closed, the only door open is bhakti. Actually, it should come before other doors are open. This should be the first door to open. But what we do, we try here, there. We should try. It's not that God never says you should not try. You should try. But ultimately, when we surrender, just like how Draupadi surrendered, no, finally she lifts both her hands and she says, Krishna, Nine, you are the one to help me. I don't want anybody else. Nobody can help me because they're all, after all, limited, finite human beings. How they can help? How they can help? They have their own, they have not solved their own problems. How any other human being can be of any help to us? It's only God or super conscious or higher energy, whatever you call, that is the one who is going to help. So he starts chanting, and he finds there is a small lotus on the thing with his trunk. He lifts it and he offers. And it is still now, next time maybe I will send that Gajendra Stuti, very popular Stuti. Part of it is chanted as part of Vishnu Sahasranama in the beginning. Now I have to go and see. So that becomes a way. Then what happens is the Prajapati, Vishnu Avatara in the form of Prajapati, he comes with Sudarshan Chakra. He comes there, and then he just lifts this elephant. He has just lifts, and then he throws his discus, Sudarshan Chakra, that will pierce through the crocodile. On one hand, the elephant comes out, and he is relieved of this bite, of his clutches, and the crocodile also dies. But then everywhere it seems, even the celestial gods, the Rudra, Vishnu, everybody is seeing from above, and they are celebrating. The Gandharvas, everyone. It was such a, so this means that Gajendra got moksha from crocodile. Gajendra got moksha from crocodile. But what happens next? There is no elephant, there is no crocodile. In their place, there are two human beings with majestic look on their face. There is no crocodile, there is no elephant, and Prajapati is there. Who are they? Who are they? So he has relieved Sudarshan Chakra. He prayed God. Sudarshan Chakra came and he relieved the suffering. And there came two beings there. Who are those? They were actually, that tells about their previous birth, because both the crocodile and the Gajendra, they had taken this form, they had become the species because of their previous happenings. What happened? Actually, Gajendra was Indradyumna. It was a Pandyan king. Pandyan king means he was in the south, in the Dravida. So Tamilian king he was. And he was a very ritualistic person, devotional person. But when he was doing puja, when he was doing puja with full devotion, came Agastya Rishi. And in his previous birth, I'm talking about. And Agastya Rishi came there, and when he came, he Pandya, this Indradyumna was so much engrossed that he could not give attention, or rather, I mean, he did not see him. So, but Agastya got very angry, and he says, "It is an insult to me when you're so engrossed that you are ignoring my presence." So he curses him, and he says, "You go and take birth in a place like an elephant," and he becomes very upset. So he says, "You take birth in the form which cannot think much." That's what is told by commentators. So he becomes an elephant. But he says, he becomes very upset. He says, "Please forgive me, and I did not realize." And he says, "But this one, I will bless you that you will be relieved by Vishnu himself. Secondly, you will remember whatever rituals you have done, mantras during that life, which will release you from this birth." So that's how he remembers. Otherwise, usually we don't remember what we have done in our past, isn't it? Do we remember? No, we don't. But he blesses him, and therefore he remembers, and he remembers to surrender also, and then Vishnu leaves him. Now, who is a crocodile? Crocodile is actually Gandharva, it seems, in the Gandharva Loka. Gandharva is, they're all very pleasant, handsome looking devatas, and they were once taking bath, and there comes this Gandharva's name is Huhu. There were two Gandharvas, Haha and Huhu. So this crocodile, about Haha we'll discuss in the next session. This crocodile was Huhu Gandharva, and once when they were taking bath, Suvarchala is laughing. So there came a Devala Rishi. Devala Rishi was taking bath. The Devala Rishi was very skinny, it seems, very skinny and not so good looking, and you could see his rib cage and all that. So this man, this Gandharva, makes fun of him and tingles him, and he pulls his leg. And he was a great Rishi, Devala Rishi. He was not good looking. Says, "Who will get married to you, or which girl will fall for you?" See, his Gandharvas are all in this kind of, romantic mood, and they always think others also to be in that. So then immediately Devala gives him he curses him. He says, "You should be born as a crocodile in a muddy water." And so then he also asks for forgiveness. That time he says, "You will get freedom from this avatar. You will stay there for 1,000 years, and you will be freed from Vishnu avatar." So that is how these two get the freedom. So the whole thing, it describes the samsara. So Gajendra is compared to human, okay, and ignorance creates sin. Ignorance leads to desire, and desire leads to all karmas, chain of karma, which revolves around fulfillment of desire. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. But ideally, we must divert our actions towards better things. It's not only to fulfill the worldly desires. To some extent, yes, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. 4 purusharthas we have to do. We should follow ethics. We should have desires. We should have some comfortable living. We should earn money. But we should have direction towards moksha also. If we get stuck here, then you are again and again, you get stuck like the crocodile. All these will bind you. So the Gajendra stuck for 1,000 years means we get stuck for several births without knowing that we are stuck. Even now, very few of us know that we are not happy. That means this thing is not the real happiness. We are looking for something better. But many of them don't know that also. They think that whatever is happening is good only. Siಟ್ಟು ಬಂತಾ ಬರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು, ದುಃಖ ಬಂತಾ, but again enjoyment. And I will tell you very interesting thing, the happiness desires and all, how much they mesmerize a person who is ignorant. Andre, these people who run, these people means we also, we are all ordinary human beings. But if you make enjoyment as your goal, then what happens is the prakriti also favors. That is your swabhava. So any responsibility comes, no? Like, let us say, I had told this example earlier. I would like to repeat. You have to attend some important, maybe uh, You have to take somebody for checkup, or you have to relieve somebody for taking care of a bedridden person, but your friends are enjoying in a party or something, you would see that you make an alternate arrangement and run there. I've seen this. That's why I'm telling. Because that becomes your goal. It's not my responsibility. No, I was just going there. I was free, so somebody called me, but I just made arrangement. And somebody says, even taking simple things like taking lecture classes, which is allotted to you. I have seen people, I have no exaggeration, about several years ago when I had started my career. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಲೆ ಹಾಕೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಾಲೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು. Lecturers, when new movie gets released, no, they try to put that class. You take, no, you take. What shall I take, sir? Some senior person telling a junior person, you handle my class today. What shall I handle? Handle whatever you know. Professional colleges I'm talking about. This is the kind. Leave alone taking care of elderly people, sick people. All those are far small given responsibilities. You don't do because your attraction towards that enjoyment is so strong that you will do anything to reach there, not here. And you will find these responsibilities are hurdles. They are hurdles on your way because I want to go and enjoy. I have seen somebody, another example I will give you. This, they were attending a wedding, but their relative was breathing his last actually. And somebody called. And then they said, no, we are attending a wedding. They were their close relative. And then they finished the wedding, they enjoyed, they had photo sessions, everything, and they came. By then, that person died. Oh, what to do? We were busy, no. We were attending the wedding, no. We were doing that. So these kind of excuses, they become priority for people who are enjoying. I am not commenting on anybody's personal choices, but if we want to evolve, then we should be ready to forego our enjoyment for something higher. If you go and attend a person in need, then it adds so much to your positive karma that you can't imagine the satisfaction. But that is provided when you understand these concepts. If you are far off from those concepts, nothing will nothing will impress you. You will not be impressed. That's okay. That's theory. We live only once, only one life. This is the attitude. So Gajendra moksha is a very clear moral. It gives a very strong moral for us to say that samsara is like the crocodile in that muddy water. So we, without knowing, we run after that mirage of happiness. Mirage, no, it's not true. We feel it's true. We run after it, and then only to get trapped. Instead of that, develop bhakti. Keep looking for better things, higher things, help the needy, empathize, compassionate. That should be our goal. Not enjoy. Enjoyment will come. Enjoyment should be there. It's not to live a life of boring life. No. But when there is a choice, let's choose the other path. That helps us in evolution. So that ends today's session. Any questions? We are open. Maybe after that I will sing a song. Any questions or any additions?
Just one addition I want to.
Please, Indira. Yeah.
Yeah, this Gajendra moksha story you were telling, na? When that 1,000 years passed, and this elephant becomes very thinny, bony, and it starts bleeding. It seems.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
just somewhere I heard about this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Then,
Please go ahead.
finally, then it remembers Narayana and starts
Narayana.
chanting. Then it find one lotus from the pond.
Correct.
Then with its trunk, it will take the lotus and
Correct.
it will put it up like this.
Up, yeah. It grows up.
And
Yes.
surrender
Yes.
ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So that time Sudarshana Chakra comes and
Definitely.
cuts the leg of the crocodile.
Correct. Good addition. Yeah. Correct. The lotus ಇದೆ ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, but ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. It starts bleeding and this one. Andre, we also bleed when you literal bleed, may not be literal bleeding, but you exhaust your energies in samsara. Correct?
Yes.
Bleeding is correct. That was because he suffers so much. Anta. That is what it indicates, right? Correct. Okay. Anybody else would like to add? Any questions? I hope all of you are there. Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Yes,
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 yes.
ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
questions or anything?
We all are there with you, Pratibha.
Ah,
Excellent class.
thank you.
Excellent. We
Did you
get
like?
mesmerized.
Thank you.
Mesmerized.
That is the
Yeah.
power of Bhagavata, and you are blessed, Uma. If you feel so,
Really.
it means you
Really.
are blessed. That's the only thing. Because
Thank you,
otherwise,
Pratibha.
see, it will not. This kind. I mean, everybody will not enjoy it. Seems only those who
True,
have
true, true, true.
got liking or who have done some homework in the past.
God
Seriously,
knows.
I am not
God
telling.
knows what I work. But yes,
Yeah.
somehow
If
when I
you
miss, no, I feel also due to my
ah,
daughter's school opening and all, I was little busy. I
ha,
couldn't.
ha.
So that
Yeah. No,
those days I used to tell my daughter, see, I'm missing this class.
yeah. So no, it is a uh,
Yeah.
power of Bhagavad. I'm just finding one song. Yeah, 175.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pratik.
Okay. Good. Good. Anybody else? Anything else? Padmini? Anything? Padmini, Suvarchila, Kavita, Kanta,
ಮೇಡಮ್
Chetrali.
ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಗಜೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋಕ್ಷದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವರ್ಷನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ.
ಹೇಳ್ರಿ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ್ ಭಗವನ್ ಸ್ಮರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನ ಅವನ್ ಪಾದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರ ನಿನಗೂ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಸಿಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಹಂಗೂ ಒಂದ್ ವರ್ಷ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ.
Okay. ಹಾ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಹಾ ಈಗ ಕ್ರೊಕೊಡೈಲು ಗಜೇಂದ್ರನ್ ಪಾದ ಹಿಡಿತು ಅವನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಇತ್ತು
ಮೋಕ್ಷ
ಅಂತನಾ?
ಸಿಗ್ತದ ಹಂಗ ಹಂಗ
ಓಕೆ
ಹಂಗ.
ಓಕೆ. ಭಗವಂತನ್ ಪಾದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಮೇ ಬಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್
ಹ್ಮ್
ಆಲ್ಸೋ
ಹ್ಮ್ ಹ್ಮ್
ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್. ಹೌದೌದು,
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. Anything else? I hope it was clear, all of you. Yeah. So this one song Purandara Dasara ಹಾಡಿದ್ದು because we discussed avatars, no? Okay. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ವಾಣಿಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ದೀರ್ಘಾಯು ಕೊಡಲಿ. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ವರವಿಬುಧರನು ಪೊರೆಯೇ ವಿಷವ ಕಂಠದಲಿಟ್ಟ ಹರ ನಿತ್ಯ ನಮಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ನೀಡಲಿ. ನರರೊಳುನ್ನತವಾದ ನಿತ್ಯ ಭೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಪುರುಹೂತ ದಯೆಯಿಂದ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಡಿಸಲಿ. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ವಾಣಿಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ದೀರ್ಘಾಯು ಕೊಡಲಿ. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ವಿನುತ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ ಪ್ರದನು ವಿಘ್ನೇಶ ದಯದಿಂದ ನೆನೆದ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳು ನೆರವೇರಿಸಲಿ ಹರಸಿ. ದಿನ ದಿನವು ಧನ್ವಂತ್ರಿ ಆಪತ್ತುಗಳ ಕಳೆದು ಮನ ಹರುಷ ವಿತ್ತು ಮನ್ನಿಸಲಿ ಬಿಡದೆ. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ವಾಣಿಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ದೀರ್ಘಾಯು ಕೊಡಲಿ. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ನಿರುತ ಸುಜ್ಞಾನವನು ಬೆಳಗಿ ಕೃಪೆಗೈಯುವ ಗುರುಗಳ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ನಮಗಾಗಲಿ. ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಕರುಣದಿಂದಲಿ ಸಕಲ ಸುರರೊಲುಮೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸುಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಲಿ. ಈ ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ, ವಾಣಿಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ದೀರ್ಘಾಯು ಕೊಡಲಿ. ಶ್ರೀಪತಿಯು ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಪದವಿಯಲಿ.
Very nice.
Thoughts, thank you. This
Yeah,
talks
use ಮಾಡಿ.
all the gods ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಧನ್ವಂತ್ರಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ. Stop recording. Yeah. One second. I'll just. Okay.